You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, revisiting ankle monitor agreement. Haiti violence prompts Bahamian embassy closure. Local vendors score big deals. And in sports, Rattlers make playoff push. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Failure, not an option. Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. The gravity of the situation bearing down 2 weeks after delivering a national address on crime and less than a week after tackling the issue on the floor of Parliament. The Prime Minister today made another reassuring pitch that his government is determined to win the fight against crime at all cost. A no-nonsense pledge that includes revisiting a key arrangement. Carla Palmer has tonight's top story.
Just last week in Parliament, the Prime Minister introduced amendments to the Bail Act. He's promising a more comprehensive account on the matter when the House of Assembly convenes this Wednesday at 10 a.m. The Prime Minister says, among other things, the government will be revisiting the ankle monitoring contract.
Failure is not an option in our fight against crime. It is as complex as possible. It is a complex issue, and we need to have tools that are effective in our arsenal to enable us to dismantle the issues that impact crime.
Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis meeting with the hierarchy of the police force Tuesday evening as the crime plan he first outlined to the public several weeks ago is already being executed by police. And in the face of 19 murders so far this year, he offered his continued and unwavering support for law enforcement.
We've had a tragic start to 2024 with an outbreak of gang violence and a series of retaliations. One homicide is one too many, but to start the year this way, with one after another, our families and our communities, they grieve, they're angry, they're in pain, and afraid. That's why it's important, I think, to share some of the developments that are underway so that Bahamians know that while making enduring progress on crime, that requires solving multiple complex, stubborn, and interwoven problems. There can indeed still be a light at the end of the dark tunnel. We are implementing a detailed plan that addresses prevention, policing, prosecution, punishment, and rehabilitation. We are investing in training for your officers and equipping you with the necessary tools to protect our communities.
Prime Minister Davis emphasized the importance of public support in the crime fight. As he says, it's the only way we can build a safer and stronger Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Now, the police commissioner's primary goal at today's press conference was to update the country on investigations into 2024's 19 homicides, at the heart of which are still retaliations and conflicts. Clayton Fernanda detailing the startling discovery detectives made when they arrested the suspect of homicide number 13. That's when Jason Lamb of Jean Street was shot in his car at the intersection of Village and Parkgate Roads.
When he was arrested, he was taken home and his house was searched. It was at this time that detectives realized that he was being monitored. His monitor was taken off and he had it resting in a box in his room. And he is on bail for murder. We had him do a demo on how he got his monitoring off. And we recorded it. And I had a meeting now with the company so that they could view that device now to strengthen that, to ensure that it don't happen again.
Well, a retired teacher's golden years have been plagued with watery challenges as her home's roof has become compromised over the years, causing a nightmare during those dreaded rainy days. On the horizon, there is some hope. Our Lloyd Allen joins us live in studio, that is, where Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis toured the area and visited Ambrister's home. Lloyd, what can you tell us?
Well, of course, good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. This afternoon, of course, right after that press conference, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, along with Police Commissioner Clayton Fernando, left the police headquarters and toured the area of the Urban Renewal Center that's in the Bain and Grantstown community. There, they also toured a number of businesses and homes, one of which was that of Cora Ambrister. She's an 80-year-old retired teacher who's trying to enjoy her golden years, but has been challenged with a number of issues surrounding her home. And just last week, we visited that home to get an update as Urban Renewal has committed to helping.
I taught social studies to students in the junior high school.
80-year-old retired teacher Cora Ambrister has been a resident of the Hospital Lane community her entire life. In fact, when she was a young woman, she rebuilt the family home after the previous structure was destroyed by an unfortunate fire. Now, as a teacher, she spent many years sculpting the life of so many. As she said, there are so many stories, but only a few she recalls daily.
With the primary school, I remember I was to St. Joseph at that time. And there was a frog in the window, and I was scared of frogs. So the window was closed. So I tell the child to open the window. She looked at me. She said, "You scared of frogs?" I said, "Yeah." So I had a good relationship with my students.
A proud Bain and Grantstown resident, Mrs. Ambrister says her greatest challenge remains in maintaining her home. Now a widow with most of her family passed away, she says a number of leaks and an expensive repair needed to her roof has for a number of years towered as the biggest obstacle due to limited resources.
The condition of my kitchen is pathetic.
She says when it rains, it pours and is looking for someone to assist. Answering the call, officer in charge of the Bain and Grantstown Urban Renewal Office, ASP Freddie Lightbourne, has committed to help.
During our daily walkabouts through this community, we met Miss Ambrister and noticed that her kitchen needed some attention. Something going on with the roof, the cabinets, the walls. So I mobilized my team.
With the goal of assisting challenged members of the community, ASP Lightbourne says the only reward he seeks is to see Mrs. Ambrister utilizing her kitchen once more.
The old lady, I know she like cook, and she promised me that as soon as the kitchen is repaired, she will make a Sunday dinner.
Ambrister says apart from the immediate help from police, she is also hopeful that her community will become safer with increased police presence.
Because if they're here, they could also check. We have a bar not so far from there. In fact, there was somebody killed just up the road. A female was killed.
Now, of course, Makusha, several advances with the story. One of them, the Prime Minister, during his tour, visited that bar as well as Mrs. Ambrister's home, which is nearly complete. And officers say within a few days, they expected that to be completed. In the meantime, though, Ms. Ambrister is preparing a Sunday dinner meal for those officers who gladly assisted her. But of course, more details coming up on the Prime Minister's tour tomorrow. Reporting from studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. Meantime, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Chester Cooper, is expected to release a statement regarding the impact of crime and tourism. This, of course, following last week's U.S. travel advisory and recent reports in the international press over the escalating rate of violent crime in the country. Here's what the Tourism Minister shared with ZNS News yesterday while in North Andros.
We have a stakeholder meeting with tourism officials. We're discussing these issues. And I'm going to make a statement in Parliament on Wednesday. Suffice to say, the government is taking this seriously. The Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, police, and the community, we're all working hand in hand on these issues, and we will continue to do so. But more on that on Wednesday.
Well, a 40-year-old man met his death at Porterski Dock early this morning. Police classifying the incident as an apparent drowning. Authorities say the victim, who reportedly fell into the water on the western side of the dock, sometime around 1 o'clock this morning, he was fished out by bystanders. CPR was administered until EMS personnel arrived. Despite best efforts, the man passed away. Investigations continue. Well, still to come, Civil Aviation Access Control Workshop. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
There are some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, Junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since they're on sale, Max bought things neither he nor his friend really needed. Hungry for deals? Come to KFC to satisfy your hunger before doing something crazy. Our new 6-piece value deal is packed with 6 pieces of your favorite fried chicken, 3 orders of crispy fries, and 3 buttery biscuits, all for just $20. You work hard for your money. Get the biggest bang for your taste buds. Satisfy your taste buds with KFC. It's finger-licking good.
ESE Distributors, the #1 wholesale beauty supplier in the Bahamas, specializing in hair products, accessories, and makeup. A variety of skin lightening products, Keratin, Natural Bright, Pawpaw, and personal toiletries, like soaps, creams, lotion, and oils. Hair products like Got2b, Red One, and everything in the Morphos line. And lots of hair. Afro Kinky, 3X Ghana, crochet hair. We deliver and ship to the Family Islands. ESE Distributors, located on Soldier Road opposite NCA.
Get to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
Meet Antonio Thompson. He's the son of Eleutheran pineapple farmer Diane Thompson, better known as Lady Di, who won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Aquarian Awards last year. And he's branching off to start a pineapple field of his own, which he hopes will one day rival those in Costa Rica.
I want to get biggest doll, Costa Rica. Yeah, we get the bush. I mean, it just takes some time.
This is Thompson's first season on his own, and he expects to make a pretty penny when his pineapples are ready to harvest.
And this patch right here, 50 to 60 grand. Right here. At $5. If I go $8, $9, $10, or even, with the winter residents or tourists, they just be buying pineapple from the grocery store for $14, $15 here. So I could tell you how far you could go with this batch of pines.
Thompson attended a town hall meeting in Eleuthera this month where Costa Rican experts gave farmers tips and tricks in cultivating the island's most iconic crop. One thing that stuck out to Thompson the most was the fact that farmers in Costa Rica harvest pineapples weekly with the use of ethylene gas.
I go in to do that. I can do that. When I start this new field, what I learned from them last night, I can try that method in this new field. Because I don't know where I can get the gas from. I could get it. I might have to get the machine to distribute it. I probably can't use the way I does it with the normal pump and spraying. But as a licensed farmer, so if I have to get the machine, I can bring it in duty free. mean, they say they harvest in 8 weeks, they have acres and acres and acres. I don't. I mean, I have the property, but it takes me a while, because then you have to depend on the baby trees. You have to have them in abundance to spread them all around. Rich and they've been doing it so long, so it's new to us, but once 1 or 2 people started, and we could be breaking pines every month.
As far as his potential earnings go, Thompson says this.
Probably be a millionaire in 2 years if I can do what they doing. If I could harvest every month of the year, I harvest some pineapples, and if no one else do it, only me one, shoot. I won't have to work that long. 5 years, so that make it chill.
Many farmers here in the Bahamas opt not to harvest pineapples because of the time it takes to harvest. In fact, one pineapple plant can take over a year to bear fruit. But Thompson shares how he views it.
It's like a soup. That's what it is. I doing other things for income, so I can wait on these to come. But apparently the other farmers, they depending on this only. So for them, it's a struggle. That's a 1 year set of money. So as to me, I do other things to have money coming in. Same as my mom. She does preservatives and jams and jellies and hot sauce and stuff. So there are different money coming in, but everyone jumping to take his pine is big money. But if you put everything in and you don't do nothing else, you just gotta wait on these to come. That's a long 14 months, 13 to 14 months waiting.
But if this has piqued your interest, Thompson offers this advice if you want to start planting your own pineapples.
Well, if you really want to do it, you need to start. Can't wait till next year or the next year. Just like New Year's resolution, they want to say they can do this, and after 2 weeks, they ain't do nothing till next year. They say the same thing.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
A reminder tonight of how volatile the situation on the ground in Haiti's troubled capital still is. Opposition forces there have imposed a February 7th deadline for the removal of acting Prime Minister Ariel Henry. With that day drawing closer, opposition forces are becoming more aggressive. On Monday, there were mass demonstrations across Port-au-Prince, prompting officials to shut down the Bahamian embassy in Haiti.
There was an accord which was done last year, maybe, that said that by the 7th of February, all of these issues should have been resolved, the political issues. So the forces, the opposition forces on the ground there are mounting a campaign to try and force the Prime Minister out by the 7th of February. So as a result, our embassy was closed this morning just as a precaution, but we'll keep monitoring the situation.
Meanwhile, as uncertainty looms following the Kenya High Court's ruling against the UN-backed Kenya-led plan to deploy armed forces to Haiti, a plan supported by the Bahamas and one for which Prime Minister Davis has committed 150 officers, opposition leader Michael Pintard is reiterating concerns. In theory, he supports intervention in Haiti, but he still appears to have misgivings of how the Davis administration seems to be going about handling the situation. He wants several questions answered.
The government is engaging in a dereliction of duty. They have an obligation to talk to the Bahamian people in and out of Parliament about their decision to deploy Bahamians in Haiti. And there are a number of things they ought to comment on. Very specifically what the role is that we'll be playing, what is the projected time, are there costs associated with it, and will the Bahamian people bear those costs?
The Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute expanding the local poultry market with the opening of its piggery farm at its North Andros facility. Desmond Saunders was there.
Ramsey's new piggery unit sits on 800 acres and houses 16 swines. Executive Chairman Senator Terrell Young feels the focus now is to create a more robust breed of pigs in the Bahamas that will grow and expand the local poultry market.
This will import the local market based on the bloodline, keeping the bloodline strong. You have a lot of farmers throughout the Bahamas who can afford to bring in these breeds, these pure breeds from other countries. So BAMC took on the initiative to bring these in and then distribute them, grow them out and distribute them at a lower cost to farmers to try and assist them with their farm and food security basically will be the end goal.
Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper contends the big farm is just part of government's continuing push for national food security.
Over the years, we have grown pigs all across the islands of the Bahamas. We've done so in a very organic way. And in order to continue to advance agriculture in the Bahamas and across the islands, we need BAMC so that we're doing it to best practice. We're doing it most efficiently. And we are able to significantly reduce the level of import of pork across the country. So as you would imagine, as consumers, for everything from bacon to ham and everything in between, pork products. And if we're able to do this successfully, we would be able to reduce the level of foreign exchange leaving the country.
BAMC's livestock coordinator, Cordina Colbert, is elated to witness this historic moment.
Hopefully the program can start up so that our farmers can produce their own piglets for sale, weaners, and they can produce meat to put the meat on the market for consumers.
From farm to plate, officials hope this venture could grow an already lucrative market and reduce the nation's reliance on foreign imports, as well as catapult the Bahamas as a global leader in the agriculture industry. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
And speaking of reducing reliance, two female entrepreneurs could soon be hitting it big now that they have both signed deals for their locally made products to be distributed by wholesale giant Milo B. Butler & Sons Limited. Corvell Pyfrom introduces us to the local vendors and shares how BAIC is facilitating this venture.
The deal inked today is part of BAIC's ongoing efforts to get more locally produced products made too by Bahamians on store shelves.
We are doing our best to ensure that Bahamians take advantage of their economy, help build their economy, and help build their country.
This is an exciting venture all around, particularly in the case of Cintish Taylor, the owner of Caribbean Chair. Just 6 months ago, she was making her products at home. Now, her product is about to be distributed in major grocery stores all across the country.
It's really eco-friendly, tough on germs, I said, really soft on the skin. It doesn't make you feel harsh or anything like that. And I'm really, really proud of the product and how far it's came.
Melita Carey fell in love with winemaking, and now she's hoping her bottles of fruit-infused and other spices that give her wines their unique flavor will become a local favorite too.
I enjoy doing it. It's like a hobby to me. I don't know, it's not a hard task to me. It's just the time of waiting for it to be finished, you know, but I enjoy the ride with it. And I guess I'll just grow old. When you see me, you'll see me still making wines.
Milo B. Butler & Sons Limited, the giant wholesaler, will distribute the products. Melita's wines will be available at all Flying Dutchman locations. It is hoped that soon those bottles will appear at hotels and other popular tourist sites as well. Alan Butler, CEO of Milo B. Butler & Sons, says his company has mandated that over the next 3 years it wants 25% of its products distributed to be locally produced.
We are very significant in the marketplace, and we would like for other Bahamians to be able to see the product lines, try the product lines, and begin to see.
For The Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
In other news, Trajane Jadarat appointed the Water and Sewage Corporation's new executive chairman. The new Covenant Baptist Church senior pastor is touted as a decorated theologian and respected community leader with a wealth of experience and passion. WSC officials assure that Reverend Jadarat's vision, leadership, and commitment to service will guide the corporation in providing reliable and sustainable water solutions to the community. Well, the Turks and Caicos Islands receiving new marine infrastructure modeled after the Bahamas. This as officials commissioned boating slips, ultimately making the island more accessible. Devontae Hanna has all the details.
Amen.
The port of North Caicos Belfield landing getting a facelift as dozens of spectators and government officials attended the commissioning ceremony of boat slips last week. It's a move set to make the Turks and Caicos Islands more accessible by sea, much like the models used in the Bahamas.
This boat slip is one of the state-of-the-art in the islands. I go around the Bahama Islands. We have some very good marinas, and we're going to emulate some of those same things.
It heralds the start of a new way to spur economic growth in the TCI, and as Immigration and Border Services Minister, the Honorable Arlington Musgrove, addressed attendees, dozens already started to use the boat slips that took much hard work to create, according to contractors from the Coastal Marine Design Build Group.
We put in some long weekends, rough seas and all, because we realized how important this project was to this community, to Port Authority, and the government.
And like the Bahamas, more is on tap for Belfield Landing, with several contracts already out to bid.
Next, we have the gazebos that already went out to tender. We're going to select a contractor for that. Then we have the recreational center that we put out to tender already. We're going to look to see who's going to win that bid.
I'd like to mention is that we also have a house. We're doing a building for the water sports.
The two countries now taking a major step to make it easier for both tourists and residents alike to make it to their shores. It follows a record-breaking year of tourist arrivals in the Bahamas, according to Tourism Investment and Aviation Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Well, we're at the end of the month, and as expected, the road traffic department's inundated with motorists who have waited until the last minute for vehicle license registration approval. And what's worse is there are only 2 road traffic outlets to process payments. Some motorists shared their frustration with our Altavis Munnings.
Let's start at the road traffic's main headquarters at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, where work to upgrade the facility was underway in earnest on Monday. The old equipment already on the ground to be replaced with new ones. A notice also posted that this facility will only offer inspections between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., with payment and processing taking place at the Carmichael and Fort Charlotte locations. And this is where concerns reached a fever pitch.
We have sufficient locations in New Providence that this could have been outsourced. We're dealing with electronic, we're dealing with the internet. This is an easy fix that did not have to result in someone waiting 3 to 4 hours just to license a vehicle.
Latoya Forbes claims she arrived at Road Traffic's West Bay Street office at 10 o'clock Monday morning and didn't leave until 2 p.m. While her vehicle inspection process was a quick one, it was the extremely long payment line that distressed her.
The staff that was on this morning when I joined the line was not the same staff that I'm leaving here now. So there's some shifts changing. So instead of doubling up on capacity in terms of workers, you're actually now having some rotation system. It appears, it seems as if they have some persons who were working at the stadium location now working here.
Vehicles lined Dean's Lane and the Western Esplanade, proving to be a busy day at Road Traffic's Fort Charlotte location. The same could be said down on Carmichael Road, where there was a crowd awaiting car inspections.
We are standing outside in this hot sun on our feet. People being here from this morning, they're still here. When we come and get our car inspected, then we have to go inside the building, get finished right up. Then we have to go back to another building to pay. And it's ridiculous because we stand on our feet all day with no chairs, no shade or anything.
There is, however, good news. The Ministry of Transport and Energy has announced that starting January 31st, the Road Traffic's main office will relocate to the Edwin Smiley Bastian Corporate Center on University Boulevard. All services there will include driver's licenses, license plate collection, among others. Operations at the stadium, Fort Charlotte, and Carmichael Road outlets remain the same. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavis Munnings.
The aviation sector continues to look for ways to ensure those using the friendly skies continue to have a safe experience. Under increasing threat of terrorist attacks and other potentially disruptive, dangerous, and even deadly incidents, stakeholders are continuously checking themselves to stay ahead. The Organization of American States, with the support of the U.S. government, this week held an access control workshop for local civil aviation professionals. OAS Country Representative Phyllis Barron and Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Fred Mitchell agreed the training exercise is significant for the Bahamas.
Effective monitoring and analysis of access control measures to keep unauthorized access to the airport's secured and restricted zones is crucial to protecting the civil aviation against acts of unlawful interference to the most important industry and lifeblood of this country, tourism.
The interconnected nature of the global aviation network requires our vigilance and dedication to maintaining the highest standards of safety and security.
The Prodigal Sons Junkanoo Group ordered to return $30,000 in Junkanoo seed funding after their no-show at the Boxing and New Year's Day Junkanoo parades. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture in a statement making it clear the sum must be returned by March 31st. Now, the decision follows an investigation that determined the group did not act in accordance with stipulated and accepted Junkanoo funding practices. Failure to return the money by the noted deadline will lead to the Prodigal Sons no longer receiving Junkanoo seed funding from the government, as the ministry notes those conditions are outlined in an agreement signed by Junkanoo groups. The ministry further stresses that a wider investigation has been launched looking at all groups that received funding but were also no-shows. We still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for tonight, government school playoff action just around the corner, but the regular season still hot. Details ahead in sports.
The trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. I'm gonna make this place your home.
In the Yellow Elder Garden, Ali and her cousins listen to Grammy share tales. The 70s so sweet, with themed costumes and dancing feet. Then came the brass, reaching new heights. A symphony of Bahamian nights. The 2000s, the Yellow Elder, a symbol of pride. Grammy's legacy in view as Ali dances in her Yellow Elder costume. We are alive.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code. Select your payment amount and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Celebrations underway as the University of the Bahamas marks its Golden Jubilee. Festivities started with the UB's anniversary launch on Monday. Corval Pfeiffer reports.
It's a celebration that has been half a century in the making. The University of the Bahamas kicking off its Golden Jubilee festivities. The university's acting president on what the institution has done for countless Bahamians seeking higher learning.
More than 20,000 students have come to us with dreams and aspirations. Thousands still do.
A stream of dignitaries, well-wishers, donors, and alumni, many of them among the notables in society, all on hand Monday for UB's celebration launch.
This moment beckons us to activate unparalleled paradigm shifts in our thinking, our action, and our vision.
The Prime Minister honoring UB's past while looking ahead to its future.
So today, we celebrate 50 years of this esteemed institution.
recognizing its great value to building and defining our nationhood. And we also acknowledge the powerful force of change that the university can be for the next 50 years and beyond.
These celebrations continue throughout the year. UB has put together a group of alumni who will act as its Golden Jubilee ambassadors to help spread the word. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Small and medium-sized business owners recently got a lesson on artificial intelligence from data analysts at Crypto Isles, the one-night seminar hosted by the executives of Plato Alpha Design. Using Google Maps, Amazon, Spotify, and social media, all examples of artificial intelligence. Data analyst Onassis Nottage gives more insight on its usage and why business owners should tap into it.
A lot of companies, they want AI automatically, but I think it's more important for you to be able to assess what's going on within the organization first to determine what you should do next. So as a data analyst myself, there are 4 different types of questions that you would ask companies. They fall into 4 categories: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive, which is what happened, why did it happen, what's going to happen next, and what should we do. Once you understand what happens and why these things happen and what's about to happen next with prediction, AI is usually the solution. That's not there to transform the actual organization itself, but to usually optimize solutions to make things a lot easier within the business.
Owner of Plato Alpha Design, Duran Hume, shares why the seminar is crucial.
So with artificial intelligence, that is the technology of the future, right? It's been around for a few decades now, but it's recently gotten spiked up in terms of the popularity, and more persons have access to it. So now we're here to teach persons how to use it and how to be prepared for it, because a lot of persons are fearful of things like, let's say, job displacement and things like that. So that is the #1 thing that we're going to be addressing here.
26 small business owners getting new electric vehicles after receiving $20,000 grants from the SBDC Standalone Grant Program. It's a partnership with Easy Car Sales, the Eleuthera Chamber of Commerce, and the One Eleuthera Foundation. Recipients say the money grant will go a long way in cutting the cost of fuel.
The price of fuel and the way things are right now, it's up and down all the time with the fuel, $6, $7. Now, the importance of this is I don't have to worry about paying for fuel anymore that much. It cuts back 40, 50% on what I used to pay. The importance now is that I could do a lot more with what I have with the business. It can go much further. I could save a lot more money and put the monies in the area that it needs to go in now. It's a beautiful blessing.
I'm here representing Kairos Car Rental, and it is really crucial as we start to develop and enhance the level of customer base that we receive in the Bahamas. We have tourists reaching out to us daily, and they are interested in economical opportunity for rentals. And so we're moving into the adventure space now, and it's very important that the SBDC is looking out for businesses like ours that are able to now expand their offering, expand their clientele, and even reach the needs of those that are economically and socially conscious.
SBDC Executive Director Samantha Rose says she's pleased to see Bahamians taking full advantage of talked about why electrical vehicles are more affordable and energy efficient.
Entrepreneurs are severely impacted by fluctuating fuel prices, with identifying zero fuel costs as the primary advantage of electric vehicles. However, concerns about charging station availability, premium pricing, and battery recharge time shape discussions on how the SBDC can best support entrepreneurs in embracing electric mobility.
A dynamic duo of sisters hoping to expand their mark in the maritime world with concierge services for the ultra-rich. Our Jiminita Swain caught up with one of them.
Keen interest and determination is what sparked Chrislyn Stubbs' interest in the maritime industry and the birth of her company, Palm Winds, she formed back in 2019. Her focus to offer the best service to high-end clients on mega yachts.
And I was curious about the industry, so what I did was I started from the bottom. I wanted to know what are the basic qualifications that you need to get in, and from there I was able to prove myself, network the captains, chief stews, head chefs for provisions, and able to just get onto vessels and show my customer service from that point of view.
The boutique business seems to be taking off. Her business has even been featured in Bird's Eye magazine, something she and her team is proud of. We caught up with her during the recent yacht show at the Atlantis Marina. She explains her winning strategy.
So the speciality of Palm Winds is we are a lifestyle management and concierge service. It's relatively new to the Bahamas in the concept and the category, but it really depends on the nature of the client's request. So we can assist with estate management, yacht services, shore support, provisions, floral arrangements, any like of what the client needs when they visit the Bahamas.
The second edition of the Bahamas Charter Yacht Show held over the weekend had more than 80 vessels in the Atlantis Marina and afforded the entrepreneur a chance to network.
I do say the most rewarding thing is last year I was able to be a part of the International Yacht Brokers Association, which is internationally accredited and considered the top tier of the yachting industry internationally. So I wouldn't be able to have done that without having the backing of captains and references as well, because they really interview and do a lot of pre-vetting to allow certain persons like myself to get into that industry.
She hopes more young people would explore the untapped maritime industry, aside from just working on commercial vessels alone. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jiminita Swain.
Well, still to come, our feature story, STM's spectacular success. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Agents from Grand Bahama on Bahamas Air's familiarization 4-day tour, raving about their experience in Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina. The tour, part of Bahamas Air's direct flight from Raleigh to Freeport with a continuation into Nassau. One magazine editor expressing her delight, stating she thoroughly enjoyed the vibrant atmosphere of both cities.
This is actually my first time to Raleigh and Durham, and I just absolutely enjoyed it. It was great to see the differences in the cities, and as well as, you know, just embracing that southern hospitality. I love the food, I love the culture, I love the vibe, and it was just laid back, and I am so excited to go back to see the city in all its glory in the spring.
Additionally, 2 other agents enthusiastically mentioning that they will highly recommend these destinations to travelers.
I just spent a few days in Raleigh. It was excellent. I would love for persons to actually go and visit and see it for themselves. The highlight for me was visiting Duke University. That's an experience anybody should be looking forward to.
This is actually my first time into Raleigh, and I will definitely do it again. The dining is nice, the hospitality is nice, and I will definitely sell it to the residents here in Freeport. It will be good for schooling for the kids, first of all. And if it's just for vacation, that will definitely be a trip that they should take.
Post-COVID, food sustainability became a pressing issue around the country. In this next story, Amajal Knowles tells us how some 12th grade students on the island of Exuma are helping solve that issue in their community.
Well, you might be wondering why I'm standing inside of a chicken coop. Well, it's the joint initiative between the Sandals Foundation and the Ellen Coakley High School here in Exuma to assist with food sustainability on the island.
To come here on a Monday morning and clean chicken manure is kind of, you have to prepare for that. So it's kind of good that we use the manure for the farm down there to plant our trees and so on.
That was Trevor Brown Jr., one of several 12th grade students at Ellen Coakley High School in Moosetown, Exuma, whose their agricultural studies class are aiding with food sustainability on the island. How, you may ask? Well, none other than a good old-fashioned chicken coop that produces roughly 3 dozen eggs per day. Now, how did this idea come about? Here's principal of Ellen Coakley, Philip Lockhart.
Well, during COVID, it was hard to order certain things, especially here on the family island. So one of the ways to alleviate this strain is, and a quick process, is actually by raising chickens. Because, it's a source of, one, fertilizer that helps you grow vegetables and other things that you need on the farm. Also a source of meat, and also the source of eggs. So this program is really covering a lot of needs on the island.
The school receiving a helping hand from a long-standing community partner, that being the Sandals Foundation.
When we realized there was a need, to be outside, to be self-sustaining, so kind of was in the making for a couple of years. And we then worked with the school over the last year. We got funding from the Sandals Foundation to actually construct the chicken coop, the nesting and everything. And it's now great to actually see the project come to fruition where the actual chickens are laying the eggs and, so they now can start to sell and so it really is great. It's going to be the start of a number of kind of agriculture initiatives, but it's really good to see it today.
As for the students themselves, while it initially seemed like a daunting task, the experience has certainly been rewarding.
For the past 6 months, the experience on the coop was very hard. It's very hard labor, plenty work have to be done. We came in on Monday, first and second period. We have the clean chicken manure. Many students don't do it, but we're four grade 12. We only grade 12 students that does it. We are committed to it. And just last week we got good news at eggs, so we want to continue that because we're soon out, so the grade 11 students will have a farm to clean.
Outside of the coop itself, some 30 yards away, the students have another green project, a farm in which they use the compost from the manure to grow small crops, including carrots and cabbages. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Bakeshna. We have mostly cloudy skies. Temperature cool, 71 degrees. Relative humidity at 56%. The winds out of the north at 3 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,018.7 millibars. That is 30.09 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 66 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greenville, Key, and Abaco. Marshall, Abaco at 67 degrees. 70 in the Berry Islands. Allenstown, Bimini, 73. Harbor Island, 71 degrees. 67 in Rock County, Lutra. Fresh Creek in Central Andros, 69. 69 also in Camp Space Andros and Black Point, Exuma. Alderstown, Cat Island, 68 degrees. 68 in San Salvador and Rim Key. Georgetown, Exuma, slightly warmer at 71 degrees. 71's also in Ragged Island, Clarence Down, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megwana, 69. Ackland, 69. Matthewtown, Inago, well, that's a warm spot tonight at 76 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 75 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, those winds are going to be light and variable seas, flat 1 to 3 feet. High tide takes place at 11:02 tonight. And then tomorrow for all areas, the winds are going to remain light and variable throughout the 700 islands. However, in the northwestern parts of our country, those winds will increase out of the west at 12 to 18 knots in the late afternoon hours. Wave heights initially 1 to 3 feet, building 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. And once that happens, we'll post caution flag tomorrow afternoon for the northwest Bahamas. Now, your high tide will take place at 11:10 in the morning, with the low tide occurring at 5:30 in the afternoon. And then on Thursday, the winds become northerly at 12 to 18 knots in the northwestern parts of our country, with the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So the caution flags will continue into Thursday. High tide on Thursday takes place at 11:50 in the morning, with the low tide at 6:08 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands on Thursday, we'll have a northwest component at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights also 3 to 6 feet. So the caution flags will cover the entire 700 islands. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
You don't need no affirmation from nobody. No, no, sir. No, on your body. Confidence and sex appeal. Every now I catch a feel. The way I bounce and stick it, I don't.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
A decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. High school hoops starting us off as the GSSA regular season continued with action yesterday in the senior division. C.I. Gibson versus C.V. Bethel over at the Donald Davis Gym. Amajal Knowles has the story.
It was a playoff-like atmosphere yesterday at the Donald Davis Gymnasium in senior girls and boys basketball play as the C.V. Bethel Stingrays taking on the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. On the ladies' side, essentially a battle for the pennant as the undefeated Stingrays would try and put a blemish on the record of the defending champs. And this one was certainly intense and physical. The Rattlers would get out in front early, but in the second half, C.V. Bethel, powered by 22 points from Trinity Bodie, would remain undefeated on the season, taking down the Rattlers 46-38.
Yes, we come out the first half. We start off pretty slow on our defense. We lagging on the defense. We missing all the layups. I told my girls we have to regroup in the second half, and we did just that.
Tell me a bit about the defense. I think you guys didn't allow a field goal in the third quarter, kind of flipped the switch defensively in the third. What adjustments did you make?
Yes, the adjustment I made, I step up on our defense. Instead of dropping back in the 3-2, I decided that we need to pressure the ball a little bit full court, and we started to get turnovers.
On the boys' side, Kevin KJ Johnson's squad hoping to remain unbeaten as well, taking on Danny Pratt's feisty Stingrays team. Cy Gibson would establish their dominance early, getting out to a 17-zip lead. The Stingrays would not go away, though, as they would hang around, getting the lead down to as much as 10 on multiple occasions before the Rattlers' depth would prove just to be a bit too much. Deshaun Butler and Gerard Rowe both dropping 18 to help CI take this one 83-48.
We're undefeated right now. I felt like Stevie Bell played extremely hard in the third quarter, forced us to turn over the ball. In the fourth quarter, we stepped it up and applied more defense pressure, and we were able to pull away.
And, of course, on Friday, arguably the biggest game of the season up to this point, the undefeated Rattlers will take on the undefeated Anatole Rogers Timberwolves at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium.
We're looking forward to it. I mean, you know, Anatole is a well-coached team, so we got to be prepared. We'll be ready to play. At the end of the day, we got to make our free shots, make our layup. We got to play extremely tough defense. Extremely tough defense. And I think that once we're able to do that, we give ourselves a chance.
GWSA basketball action resuming this evening. Scores in tomorrow's sportscast. For ZNSO Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Meanwhile, the UB men's basketball team back in action. Sasha Johnson getting the squad ready to take on the Regulators. First quarter, Mingos getting the rock to Quante Edgecombe inside. Edgecombe with the drive. Mingos trailing 14-11. Edgecombe did have 17 points on the night. Mingos would trail at the half, down 52-45. But then, thanks to 4 3-pointers from Lalano Armbrister, Mingos end the third quarter tied at 61. Armbrister led all scorers with 21 points on the evening. Greg Cox brings up the rock, hands off to Chavez Martinez for the three. Mingos up 75-68. Martin with 11 points on the evening. Regulators had a late surge, but Mingos hold on for the win here, 83-79.
The first half, we came out kind of playing at our normal pace, but we realized that if we wanted to beat them, we was going to have to speed it up a little bit, you know, kick things into another gear. So that's what we did in the second half. We were able to execute, play some tougher defense, play a quicker offense, and that's how we was able to get the win.
Toughest part of the game for us, I think, was getting all the guys on the same page, everybody knowing what to do on defense, on the defensive end. You know, defense wins championship, so that was a big thing for us. We really turned it up on defense, made defensive possession counts, offensive foul breaks, points, and yeah, that's it.
On to some volleyball news. UB Mingos women's volleyball team also in action. They took on the Panthers in the New Providence Volleyball Association. Mingos starting off slow against the Panthers, giving the Panthers the first set 25-5. Mingos determined to get back into the match. They bounced back to hold on for the second set win, 25-22. To tie the match at 1 set apiece. Mingos, or rather the Panthers, take the third set 25-19. Mingos started off the set on a 5-point run in this one, but couldn't hold on. Panthers then close out the match, taking the fourth set 25-17, win the match 3-1. And powerlifter Alicia Turner competing at the USA Powerlifting Florida Rookie Rumble recently, where she shined in her performance by winning the first overall female position with a squat of 150 kilos, benching 75 kilos, and deadlifting 182 kilos. Now, if your kilos challenged like myself, you got to figure that one out. I just know it's a lot. A proud Turner saying it was a bit of a challenge to make sure she got what she had earned.
Initially, they called another lifter as best lifter for the day, and I don't know, it didn't seem right, and so I asked my coach to inquire, and they did, in fact, make a mistake, and they rectified it, and I got my award.
And that's it. Your check on sports for you here on this beautiful Tuesday. Don't forget, we got your Tuesday weather just ahead. Stay with us.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898. and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, our forecast map showing a reinforcing cold front heading towards the northwest Bahamas on Wednesday. That should be just to the north of Grand Bahama. It should go through during the late night hours of Wednesday, early Thursday morning, and that will bring in some more cool weather, which will last us for the rest of this week. Behind that, high pressure is collapsing, so we will see some light and variable winds over the next few days, particularly over the northwestern parts of our country. Our forecast for the night looks like partly cloudy. It's still on the cool side. Low temperature around 63 degrees. And tomorrow, pleasant with periods of clouds and sunshine, but in the afternoon, we'll start to get some breeze. The winds will pick up after 2 o'clock in the afternoon with a high temperature of 74 degrees. And the extended weather forecast shaping up like this. The sunshine will be out during the daytime right into Thursday, but come Friday, get a little cloud in our forecast, courtesy of that reinforcing cold front, but then things will brighten up as we head into Saturday, and those chilly nighttime temperatures, yes, they're going to be with us right into the early part of next week. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. It was a drop everything and support for parents who turned out to St. Thomas More Primary for the presentation of character certificates, one of many planned events marking the huge impact Catholic school education has had on tens of thousands of Bahamians, who have in turn poured back into the country. St. Thomas More students aren't the least bit down about being blue this entire week. The youngsters all in their fields as they celebrate 134 years of Catholic education in the Bahamas, standing tall on the principles of united in faith and community. This morning, staff, administrators, and alumni of the Madeira Street School celebrated their spectacular student success. Around some of their necks, medals, in their hands, trophies, and character awards.
We begin with KC, Caleb Roberts, and Empathy Cumberbatch. 2C, Teresa Roll, and Riley Taylor. From 6J, we have Lariel Evans Jr. and Bethany Hannah in the absence. I think so.
St. Thomas More Principal Dr. Renee Mortimer agrees, stressing that a kind word goes a long way.
Children are going through so much. Sometimes in the home, a lot of situations are happening. They come to school sometimes, they're sad because of what they have happened at home. And so when they come to school, it's a happy place for them. They are very comfortable with administrators and their teachers. We are aware of what's happening. And once we know what's happening with them, what we try to do is brighten their spirits. And we let them know, no matter what's happening, in home, in the country, but no matter what's happening, we are there for them. And we make sure brighten their spirits and make sure that they know that we love them, we support them. If they're down and out, if they don't have money for lunch, we make sure they're fed. Because our students cannot function if they are hungry, if they are sad. So we try to uplift their spirits here at St. Thomas More School.
Now, as for the importance of taking time out to celebrate more than a century of Catholic education,
so we have to do what we have to do to ensure that we make sure that our students feel celebrated. They've done a wonderful job. There's so much negativity going on in this country, and it's so good for us to highlight the importance of what our children are doing this morning. And so we're celebrating them. Right now what's happening is they're coming up with their medals, their awards, their certificates that they would have achieved in other areas. And so this morning we're celebrating them, and we are happy to have our parents here and their supporters here, because, you know, nothing happens without the family.
Later this week, there will be a Careers Day and an I Love You School Art project where parents can join in sprucing up the campus.
Congratulations, St. Thomas More School, St. Cecilia School, Xavier Silver School, St. Francis and Joseph School, St. Augustine's College, Aquinas College, Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy in Grand Bahama, Every Child Count, Abaco, and of course St. Francis de Sales in Abaco. Happy Catholic Schools Week, everyone.
And this programming note before we end, the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, will return live on the ZNS Television Network tomorrow, January 31st, featuring stories making news around the Northern Bahamas. And that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.